Sunday. I'm gonna start calling this. I'm gonna start calling this Midnight Motivation. Sunday, April 26th. And I have a message to give tonight. It would be easy to not give it, skip it, do something else. But as I always say, I feel compelled to give this message. I feel compelled to share this message, share this energy. So I have to do it. You're on the East Coast. I know it's getting late. So we're going to get rolling. Because tonight we're going to talk about a interesting phenomenon that I don't know if everybody experienced it, but I have experienced this for the duration of my life. And I'm sure a lot of people have experienced it at some point in their life. But I can tell you one thing for certain. As you build and as you grow, as you develop in your life, as you ascend, and as you go to where you are going to go in your life, as you on your journey of becoming, whether you know it or not, you're going to experience this. And as we get into this conversation, when you experience it, this is going to tool you and arm you with the right type of tactics in dealing with said situation. So let's get into it. Because there's a presence, that does not announce itself loudly. It does not demand attention like many things. Yet it commands attention. It is not built on applause, but it is not sustained by validation. It simply is. It exists. Today, we step into a powerful and often misunderstood space. Something called uncomfortable confidence. Not arrogance, not ego, not a show of performance, but a grounded internal knowing, a quiet certainty, a steady, unwavering belief in self. One that can make others shift in their seat without a single word being spoken. Now that's powerful. So, welcome, family, friends, and fraternal souls, to the hour of power, focusing on purpose and praise. And I'm going to call this the Midnight Edition. This is your brother in growth and partner in purpose. Let us grow together. At the same time, let us give thanks to all things, especially the small things. Let's celebrate every day's blessing and the beauty of life surrounding us. Let's make an effort to enjoy the constant beauty and the quiet miracles, which make life so uniquely precious. All in all, let us all give thanks. And this is a perfect opportunity. So if you didn't give thanks today, take this time to give thanks. We're talking about uncomfortable confidence. The quiet power that shifts every room. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. Going to be a good one. Was worth the wait. So let's define it. Let's define uncomfortable confidence. Uncomfortable confidence is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the most settled voice within yourself. It is the individual who doesn't over-explain their worth, doesn't chase approval, doesn't shrink to make others feel secure. And that's because people sometimes don't know how to respond to this type of individual. Why? Because most environments are conditioned around mutual insecurity, shared doubt, and collectively seeking validation. So when someone walks in fully anchored within themselves, it disrupts the rhythm of the room. It challenged the norm. They're not ready for this one. It forces others to reflect, not on you, but really on themselves. And in that reflection, they can feel uncomfortable. Ask yourself quietly, do I seek agreement to feel secure? Do I downplay my strength to maintain control in relationships? Do I confuse humility with invisibility? Let that sit for a minute. Reflect and think about that as we progress. So, why confidence makes others so uncomfortable? Let's be clear. Your confidence is not the problem, but it may reveal someone else's discomfort. Uncomfortable confidence triggers, this is going to be a key word, triggers 3 core reactions in others. 1, internal comparison. People begin to measure themselves against you, even if you never invited comparison. Exposure of insecurity. Your certainty highlights their uncertainty. Your clarity magnifies their confusion. 3, loss of control dynamics. If someone is used to leading, guiding, or influencing an environment, now walk in confident your independence disrupts that dynamic. Therefore, that could be a problem for them. So here's the truth about that. Some people are comfortable with you just so as long as you are uncertain about yourself. As long as you question yourself. As long as you seek them. But when you stand fully in your knowing, without needing anyone's permission, that relationship dynamic will either evolve or dissolve. Because everybody can't stand someone who can stand on their own. So here are some key highlights. Uncomfortable confidence is not offensive, but in fact, it's revealing. It reveals who is aligned with your growth, who is attached to your comfort, who celebrate you and your wins, and your rise, and who feel challenged by those things. Difference between, let's examine this for a second so there be no confusion. The difference between confidence and arrogance. Let's be clear so we can draw the line between the two, because a lot of people get confused about that. A lot of people mistake someone's confidence and self-assurity as arrogance, when these two are vastly different things for many reasons. Let's draw the line. Confidence says, I know who I am. Arrogance says, I need you. I need you to know who I am. Confidence is internal. Arrogance is performative. Confidence listens. Arrogance tries to dominate. Confidence is grounded. Arrogant is inflated. Uncomfortable confidence is often mistaken as arrogant, as I just mentioned, because it doesn't explain itself. It doesn't shrink. It doesn't overcompensate. And that stillness unto itself can often be misinterpreted. So consider this. Ask yourself, have I ever been labeled as too confident? Did I adjust myself at some point in my life to ease others? Or did I remain grounded in who I am and my truth? Standing firm on your principles without becoming hardened. Here are things where mastery lives. Uncomfortable confidence is not about becoming rigid, but it's actually about becoming rooted. You can be confident and compassionate, assured and open, grounded while still evolving. True confidence does not reject growth. In fact, it invites it. But it does not depend on it for its identity. Come on, people. Stay with me. So, as I talk about with everything, we're talking about mindset, understanding, mind, body, spirit. And when you are on the road, on your journey in life, as you're becoming, the way it's all going to fall into place is you have to get in alignment. Your mind, your body, your spirit, your will, your determination, your destination has to become in alignment. So here's some practical alignment principles. Come on, people. We're learning, we're growing. To embody uncomfortable confidence, number one, anchor. You got to anchor it. And, well, let's put it this way. You have to be anchored in your own self-validation. You don't need outside validation. Your worth, who you are, is not a group decision. We're not allowing anybody else to define it. 2, practice silent assurance. You don't have to announce who you are, what you are, or your capabilities. No. Accept the fact that you will be misunderstood. So become comfortable with misunderstandings because not everyone will interpret your presence correctly. In fact, some people, they won't even try. And that's the problem. That's the problem. When people are making judgment, they don't even know you. Stay teachable, not shaken. Growth doesn't contradict confidence, but in fact, it strengthens it. So, as I always say, we want to always be growing. We want to always be learning. We want to always be better tomorrow than we were today, and so on and so on. So, 5, release, and this is hard for some people, for most people. One of the many things I do is I educate young people. And my whole purpose and goal of educating young people and developing them is to build a solid foundation for them to become the whole person that they're ultimately going to become. I want to be that one little piece in their growth and development. But something that I see is almost like a common denominator among young people is as they are becoming who they are going to be ultimately. They are at a stage where they have a need to be liked, a need to be accepted. And the fact of the matter is that is okay for young people because they're growing and they're developing, and that's part of their growth and their development. But there's a lot of adults who are the same way, and they need to be liked. Number 5, you're going to have to release that need to be liked. Respect your alignment, because the alignment within yourself matter more than anybody approval. In fact, a fully grown adult needs only one approval, and that's from upstairs. Other than that, you need to be assured of yourself and approve of yourself. That's all you need. The power of quiet presence. Let's go, people. We're going to go. There's something powerful about a person who doesn't rush to speak, doesn't compete for attention, doesn't bend to everyone's expectation. They move differently. They listen deeper. They act with intention. And over time, their presence speaks louder than words ever could. This is leadership unto itself without declaration. You don't have to say, I'm a leader. Your presence speaks for itself. It's power without performance. This is what uncomfortable confidence looked like. There would be a moment when your confidence entered the room before your voice even speaks, even says a word. Moments when your stillness unsettled noises, when your certainty disrupts doubt, when your presence shifts energy. And when that happens, and it will happen, do not shrink in those moments. Do not dilute your essence. Do not dilute your essence to make others feel comfortable in their own uncertainty. because you were not designed to dim your light for the sake of comfort or familiarity. You were designed to stand in your truth, stand in your knowing, stand in your confidence, a pure confidence. And that requires no one applause. Come on, people. So yes, it may feel uncomfortable sometimes for yourself and others. But understand this, growth has always been uncomfortable. You hear the term growing pain? But the truth has always been uncomfortable as well. And the power, the real power, has always made people pause and sometimes stop in their tracks. So if your presence causes a shift in the room, that's okay. If your confidence creates silence, I'm that type of person. I'm that type of person who kills conversation when I walk in the room. If your certainty invites reflection, then you are not out of place. In fact, you are aligned. You are right where you're supposed to be. Keep being you. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. Keep becoming. Let's keep going, people. This is a reminder. You do not need permission to believe in yourself. You do not need consensus to walk in your purpose. You do not need to explain your confidence to those who have not yet found their own. Woo. Yeah, not right. Stand firm, stand grounded, and continue becoming everything you already know that you are. This is what uncomfortable confidence looks like. Let's keep going, people. Let's keep going. This message is for somebody. I'm not sure who it is. This is midnight motivation, people. This is going to be the type of motivation that's going to take you into the week ahead. Let's go. So, we're going to examine the social mirror and power dynamics. In my first conversation, the first part, we explored the essence of uncomfortable confidence, the quiet, unwavering self-assurance that doesn't seek permission, that doesn't require validation. But now we're going to go a bit deeper, because confidence does not exist in isolation. It lives in rooms, in conversations, in relationships, in systems. And when your confidence meets the world, you're going to find this to be true. It becomes a mirror. Let me explain. Because confidence as a social mirror, it's going to teach you a lot of things. Not necessarily about yourself, but about other people. Because every time you walk into a space grounded in truth, you unknowingly hold up a mirror to everyone around you. Not a mirror of judgment, but a mirror of contrast. Sidebar. And that's okay, because we are all individuals. We're not the same. We don't have all the same abilities. We can't do the same thing, that same exact identical way. That's okay, especially if you're grounded in your truth. The problem becomes it's not always okay with everybody else. And when I say the problem is not your problem is their problem. Let's continue. Because people don't just see you. They feel themselves in your presence. They feel their certainty because they could be inspired by you or their doubt. They feel their alignment because they could connect to you or their confusion. They feel their growth because as you grow, they feel they can grow. Inspiration, or they feel their stagnation. What I just said is going to go over a lot of people's head. We're talking about psychology now and how people feel and how people are affected by the power of you. So here's the powerful truth. Your confidence doesn't create insecurity in others. You got power, but maybe not that much power. But it reveals what was already deep inside them. Back to that word trigger. So ask yourself, do I take responsibility for how others feel around me? Do I shrink my presence to maintain emotional control for others? Whew. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. Because I'm sure everybody have done that at some point in their life. Do I shrink my presence? If I'm bodacious, if I'm this, I'm grand, whatever you are. Do I shrink my presence to maintain the emotional comfort of somebody else? That means you're happy, you're grand, you're this, but you know somebody else might not feel that way, or they'll feel the opposite. Because what you feel and your greatness might make somebody else feel. So you know that, knowingly, you might just pull it back, shrink it, simmer it down a little bit, because you don't want to make them feel, which is not right. Which is not right. Or do you allow truth to exist without managing perception? That means standing in your truth, who you are, and your wholeness. Because there's a powerful dynamic in emotional reaction. When uncomfortable confidence enter a space, it quietly shifts power dynamics. Not through force, not through control, but through self-containment. And that shift can trigger different emotional responses. Some you can see, some you don't see. Let's examine a few. Respect. Some will recognize your grounded energy and align with it. Curiosity. Others will observe you, trying to understand your calm certainty. Resistance. Some may challenge you, not because you're wrong in your actions and your behavior, but because your presence disrupts their internal balance. Distance. Some will quietly just step away because your energy requires a level of self-awareness that they may not be ready to confront or deal with within themselves. This is Midnight Motivation. I'm not sure if everybody's ready for this type of conversation. This type of conversation, because we actually are talking about human behavior, whether you know it or not. This is something that every day as you walk through life, you're dealing with. You're just not putting it into perspective. And then what a lot of people are doing is they now taking it back and a self-reflection. They're saying, well, maybe I need to. Maybe I need to adjust. Maybe I need to be different. Maybe something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. Be confident. Be self-assured. Know who you are. Don't change for nobody. Let's keep going. Key moments to highlight. You don't lose people because you changed. You grew. You evolved. You simply reveal people because they may have stopped growing and adjusting. We're going to get into something. There's a term they used to say, as real as a heart attack. The more you grow and the more in alignment you become with yourself, the lonelier it becomes. There's a loneliness in self-alignment. Let's speak about this truthfully. There's a season that comes with uncomfortable confidence, a season of distance, of silence, of realignment. Because when you no longer seek approval, tolerate misalignment, perform for acceptance, you naturally outgrow certain spaces and a certain version of what will be deemed as connections. Whew. So yes, at times when you are becoming and you are getting in alignment with yourself, it can feel lonely at times. But understand this, loneliness is not always absence. Sometimes it's transition, which is part of the becoming process. The growing pains. You are not losing connections. You are refining your alignment with yourself. So sit with that for a moment. And let's sit with this. You can ask yourself, who am I becoming that my old environment cannot hold or withstand? There's someone who knows exactly what I'm talking about. You come through your journey as I have, through so many different levels and environments, travel so many roads, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What am I holding on to out of familiarity, not alignment? Self-reflection, people. Because once you identify what that is, then the awareness requires for you to take action. Let's keep going. We're almost done. Emotional discipline and presence. Uncomfortable confidence requires emotional discipline. Just about anything that you do as you grow and on your journey of becoming will require discipline. Because not every reaction deserves your attention. Not every reaction deserves your response. Not every misunderstanding requires your correction. Not every discomfort requires your adjustment. As you grow, you learn to observe without absorbing, respond without reacting, stand without defending. This is part of your evolution, part of your growth, part of your development, where your confidence is no longer just internal, But now it becomes behavioral mastery. This is a master class, baby. This is a master class. I'm not sure where you're going to go to get this information, especially at midnight. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Motivation, midnight motivation for the week ahead. So here are some practical applications when dealing with these circumstances. As you grow and as you're becoming, you most certainly will encounter. To sustain uncomfortable confidence in social environment, you must detach from the need of immediate validation. Silence does not equal rejection. No. Let energy speak before your words. Presence communicate before language is even required. Allow others to have their process. I had to learn that. Allow others to take their time to take you in. When you walk in there, your energy come in the room. Some people need time to just be able to take that in for a minute. They don't know what to do. You are not responsible for their emotional interpretation of who they think you are because they don't know who you are. Think about that. Always choose alignment. Your alignment. Everything we talk about is you. Your alignment over acceptance. Not every connection is meant to continue, such as life, baby. There's an old saying, you can't take everybody with you. You just can't. And I've seen so many people try, and it didn't end well. Protect your internal state. Now, this is a principle that you should never compromise on. Peace, your peace, is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. If something upset your system, upset your peace, it's not for you. Do what you have to do to remove yourself. Don't allow anything to disrupt and upset your peace. Because this uncomfortable confidence is leadership without announcement. Whew. Think about this, people. There is levels to leadership. Levels to leadership that does not introduce itself. It is not assigned. It is not declared, I'm a leader. It's just simply felt. You could look around a crowded room and without anyone saying a word to you, you can identify who's the leader. It's a fact of the matter. Uncomfortable confidence creates this presence. People begin to look at you without asking. They look to you as a leader. Look to you for answers. Look to you for the result of something. Without you even having to announce, I'm the leader. I know, I can do. Trust your direction without explanation. Feel your steadiness without instructions. Not because you demand authority. You have to be the head person in charge. No. But because you embody clarity within yourself. This is influence without effort. Leadership without the title. Because in fact, true leaders don't need the title. And I'm going to tell you, I'll give you a great example of how you would know that and when it will clearly be defined. In chaos. In the midst of chaos, the person who's the leader is going to rise. Oftentimes, it's not the person with the title of leadership. It's the clear-minded, clear thinker who could think beyond themselves and of others who is going to rise in those circumstances. And if that's you, which I'm sure it is, just continue to be true to yourself. There will be moments when your confidence isolates you before it elevates you. Like I said, in becoming on your journey, at some point, it can feel lonely. Moments when the room grows quiet, when conversations shift. I kill conversations when I walk in the room. because connections change, people change, their feelings change, their understanding change. Do not misinterpret that moment. You know, everything that is happening in life, everything that is happening with other people, everything that is happening around you is not always about you. Just like you are on a journey and you are evolving and you are growing, everybody else is too. And I don't care who it is, your husband, your wife, your mother, your children, everybody is on their own journey. Your journey is not theirs. Their journey is not your journey. And the truth of the matter is, it's not even for you to have a say in their journey. So do not misinterpret that moment. That is not rejection. In those moments, it's simply recalibration. Because when you stand fully in who you are no longer negotiating your presence and your truth. You are simply establishing it. And yes, it may cost you comfort. It may be uncomfortable for others, but it will reward you with truth. Whew. Think about it. If you are blessed enough to be living in your truth, you know exactly what I mean. There's a certain level of comfort and confidence and peace, and more important, gratitude, gracefulness that you feel when you are living in your truth. And within that very truth, you will find real connections, genuine respect, and peace that does not require any conversations or explanations of who you are. Masterclass, people. Masterclass. Let's go. So you are not here. Your presence, who you are, you're not here to be understood by everyone. In fact, that's impossible. You are here to be aligned with yourself. And when that alignment becomes unshakable and your presence starts to speak, it'll start speaking loud and clear in ways that words could never. So again, stand firm, stay centered, and always allow your confidence to do what you were meant and born to do. It will reveal the truth, refine your connections, redefine the room, because that's the power of your presence and your energy. Why? Because this is what uncomfortable confidence looks like. This is powerful, people. This is powerful. I feel this one. All right. This is Midnight Motivation. We hit midnight Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I got one more last stretch. One more last stretch. Can we? We're on a home stretch. Let me bring it home for you. Come on, stay with me. So we've defined uncomfortable confidence. We've explored how it shifts rooms, how it reveals truth, how it recalibrate relationships. Now let's bring it into reality. Your reality. Because uncomfortable confidence is not just a mindset, but it is a way of moving through life, through decisions, through conversation, through opportunity, even through resistance. And today I'm going to give you some practical advice on how to apply it. So this midnight motivation will be something that take you through the week. We talk about uncomfortable confidence. Here are how, this is the reality, how uncomfortable confidence affects the various levels and the various elements of your life. Uncomfortable confidence in your career. There comes a moment in your professional life when you stop asking, am I ready? And you begin asking, am I aligned? Uncomfortable confidence in your career look like, stay with me, people, because this is some of the most important pieces of this conversation. Uncomfortable confidence in your career look like speaking with clarity, even when others hesitate. Taking ownership without waiting for validation. Declining roles or projects or environments that does not align with you. Everything's not for you. Positioning yourself without over-explaining your worth. The career shift most people are conditioned to are they're seeking permission. They're waiting for their turn. They need to prove themselves repeatedly. But uncomfortable confidence says, I have already done the work internally. Now I will move accordingly externally. Practical career move. Ask for the opportunity before you feel 100% ready for it. Because whether you know it or not, you are ready for it. State your value without over justification. I am. I can. Walk away from misalignment in environments, even if they are familiar, even if they're comfortable. Lead from where you are and who you are. No need for titles. No need to be designated. You just are. So, where, reflection point, where am I waiting for validation in my career? What would I do differently if I trusted myself fully? Strong self-reflecting question. Here's another one. Uncomfortable confidence in relationships. Come on, people. Home stretch. Relationships are where uncomfortable confidence are most tested, regardless of the type of relationship. Because relationships often operate on unspoken agreements. That agreement is stay the same so I can feel secure. Adjust so I can feel comfortable. Shrink so we can remain friends and family and loved ones and connected. Unfortunately, that's how relationships are built. But when you evolve and become the true person that you are, those agreements falls apart and they break down. What changed? With uncomfortable confidence, you begin to communicate clearly without emotionally over explaining yourself. You learn to set boundaries without guilt, walk away without needing closure from others, choose alignment over history and or whatever type of relationship. The truth about the connection is not all relationships are meant to grow with you. So you are designed for a season, a reason, a lesson, and a version of you that no longer exists. You're growing, you're evolving. And that realization can feel uncomfortable, but it's absolutely true and it's absolutely necessary. So here we are, people. Uncomfortable confidence. This was the conversation tonight. I think this was a great conversation. I hope that this message helps someone. I hope that this message touched someone. Because there comes a point in your life when you realize you are not here to fit into spaces, but you are here to shape those very spaces, to redefine them through your presence, through your decisions, through your unwavering belief in who you are. Uncomfortable confidence will ask you something. It will ask something of you. It will ask you to stand when it's easier to shrink, to speak when silence at some point will be more accepted, to move when hesitation feels safer. And those moments, and in those moments, you will feel it. That subtle tension, that quiet discomfort, that understanding that this discomfort is not just resistance, but it's your growth. It's you're expanding. And in that moment, your life begins to align. You align with your higher self. And in that moment, it's not the safest version of yourself, but it's growth. You don't need perfect conditions to move forward. You don't need universal agreement to take action. You don't need to explain your confidence to those who are still searching for their own confidence. Trust yourself, move boldly, and let your life reflect the certainty that you are carrying within you. Because in the end, the goal is not to be comfortable. The goal is to be aligned, fulfilled, and unstoppable. Here we are, people. Here we are. This is what uncomfortable confidence looked like. Thank you for staying with me, people. If these words found their way into your spirit, share them with someone who needs to hear this, and they are still searching for their own light. Remind them gently that their peace still exists. Their grace is still within them. Their purpose is patiently awaiting for their arrival. It is my sincere hope that the positive energy that I strive to live by and the unwavering dedication that I pour into both my walk and my work reaches beyond sound and touches the soul of everyone who hears my voice. May the very spirit becomes a quiet, strong connection between us, encouraging each of us to rise, to grow, and to become better today than we were yesterday. And through that shared energy, may we speak and when we spark new breakthroughs together, lifting up ourselves and each other so that our individual victories become a collective triumph. And in the end, we are all simply travelers on this journey that we call life, seeking meaning, seeking growth, seeking impact. And perhaps we can be so fortunate to search and find it together. Stay rooted, stay blessed, stay living life with purpose. I am D. Wild. This is Our Power, focusing on purpose and praise. Peace and blessings. Thank you, people. Midnight motivation. I hope this helps someone go forward this week ahead, knowing who you are, regardless of what's going on around you and what's going on in the world. You are meant to be who you are. Thank you for being you.
You know how I saw Fred Clark?
Who?
Unless it's another Fred Clark. You know from the Pivot?
Fred? Sleepy Fred?
Huh?
Sleepy Fred?
I gotta look it up. I saw, like, you know how you pass through?
Uh-huh. Sleepy Fred?
Let me look it up.
Whew.
You gotta look at your numbers. Look at your numbers. People started joining when it was time to go.
Mm-hmm. Whew.
I guess you gotta get that message out tonight. How do you feel?
Whew. I feel congested.
No, I'm not talking about your congestion. Do over the thing.
I feel fantastic. Some messages are for other people, some messages are for me.
Oh yeah, those the last couple of messages seemed like they were for you. Your testimony.
That was a good one. So here we are.